Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Tisha, and this is the real deal. So, as you see from the topic down below, I'm gonna talk about how I meet my Portuguese husband. So, it was a dark and stormy night. Okay, just kidding. So it's a bit cloudy and gloomy here, and I'm gonna run on the road just a little bit and come back. So I said let me just do this video and then I run along. So today is what? Today's Friday, the 7th of May. Yep. So I am from Jamaica, and as you know, my husband is from Portugal, and we met in Bermuda. How we met? How I ended up in Bermuda. So I was offered a job in Bermuda to do to be a hairstylist. I was so excited and all that good stuff, and I didn't know what I was expecting. And you know, you think when you go away to work with somebody, you're gonna work and they pay you, but lo and behold, I was gonna do commission. So I'm like, okay, when I get there, you have to build from scratch, you know, you have to start all over. Okay, so for you as a hairdresser, a hairstylist in Jamaica, and you already build a clientele over a couple of years, and then you go to a new country and you have to build a clientele all over again. So excuse me, the place that I ended up, there was a hairstylist in the shop, and she was good, she was excellent, I have to compete. I couldn't compete with her because she's been there for 10 years and everybody know her. And for me to, Bermuda have at least 60,000 people, and they're pushing 1,000 salon or more, maybe. So I mean, the competition was on, and you have a lot of other Jamaicans there doing the same thing. And I'm like, okay, but how am I gonna do this? I mean, if you go to Bermuda and you make one mistake when you just go, let me just tell you from now, dog nyam your supper. Dog nyam your supper, because it's small and everybody gonna say, ooh, she did this. Oh, so let me just tell you something. So I was there and things wasn't picking up as well as I thought it would. I had my weeks when it was nil and all of that crap, and let me tell you something. Sometimes I am hungry. At the end of the month, my bills is higher than my intake, whatever I'm taking home. And my boss used to take me and send me out like a child. I'm like, you're a big woman and this woman keep asking you to do this and asking you to do that. Mind you, she drive and I walk, and sometimes it's freezing cold, or sometimes the sun is so damn hot. And she take you up and she send you there, send you there. I'm like, okay. I go, because my mother raised me to be obedient and stupid. So I never say, oh, I don't want to go. I go, but I mean, going there was this church, Anglican church, that the door is always left open. And I always stop to pray. And I say, listen, even though I am a Seventh-day Adventist, but this is a church. The door is open. I mean, I just need somewhere to talk to God. So I would go every day when she send me. I would stop in the church and I would pray. I would the first, it was a bit scary when I go in there and see all these things and this. I'm not used to all of that, so it was a little bit scary. But I go one day and I just sit and look like that. I just keep looking around. The next day I go back and I sit and talk to God. The next day I go back, I would start to use the kneeling pad and pray to God. But one day I went inside because I starting to get from everything that's happening to me, I'm starting to get anxiety attack and depression and all of that thing. And I'm like, oh no. So I would go in that church, and one day I go in that church and I said to God, I said, I'm not leaving here today until you give me an answer. I'm sure this is not what you take me to Bermuda for. But anyway, I cried and I prayed and I cried and I prayed and I cried and I prayed, and when I'm done, I feel a burden lift. I don't know if because I cried, I don't know if it is because God listened to my plea, but a burden lift. And when the burden lift and I go about my business and go back to my job, and somehow I just didn't care no more. I'm like, I'm there and I'm happy. Happiness is come over me, and I go home and I go to my bed, and in my bed I find myself singing this Yolanda Adams song. I think it's called Wounded But I'm Not Broken. No, Wounded But Time Will Heavy the Cross, the Load I Bear. Yeah, so that song, I didn't know the song. I find myself singing that song in my sleep and wake up singing this song, and I say, oh, let me look on YouTube for that song, and I look on YouTube for that song, and I start to sing that song. But that song is an affirmation that God is not done with me. He has something in store for me. I might be battered, I might be broken, but I'm still alive. And I'm like, okay, yes. So I have this Jamaican friend, and at the time, my husband have this Jamaican friend. So I was single, my husband was single, and he keep telling the Jamaican friend that he want a Jamaican girl. And one day he said to him, why you don't introduce me to that man? Because I didn't know what he looked like or anything. And he said, oh, I think I'm gonna work close to your job tomorrow. You can come and see me, then you can meet my friend. So I guess he told him about me, because when I went, my friend was rushing off to the doctor. He had a doctor. My husband was rushing off to the doctor because he had a doctor appointment, and he said, don't leave, I'm coming back. And he rushed to the doctor appointment and come back, and he was a little bit late to get back to work, but he talked to me for a little bit and he was so trembling when he was talking to me. His voice was shaking and his hand was shaking, and he gave me a little peck, a little kiss in my forehead like that. I said, okay, not sound so bad. Not so bad. I don't know what to think about that, because I mean, I'm just meeting you like for the first time, and you hold my hand like that, and well, I go back to my job. I didn't take his number, but I didn't worry about it because I know if he wanted to get to me, he would get to my friend. So one day he told my friend, oh, I want to invite her to dinner. So let me tell you something. We chose a restaurant, and then my friend would take me to the restaurant while he was there waiting for me. When I see this man, the man's shirt is all wrinkled and crushed, and I'm like, oh God, this is so embarrassing. But he's okay, so I'm gonna go to the restaurant. I go to the restaurant. I ate that pickles and onion. That's the first restaurant we've been to. I think I went back there for my honeymoon No, it was for my birthday. The last birthday I spent in Bermuda, and it was okay. But I went to the pickles and onion, and then let me tell you something. So I'm not used to them top-notch restaurant where everything have a different name. You can see spaghetti and them call it cat bottom. Hey! Everything have a different name, so listen, you don't even know what you're ordering. And then come to find out, no, my husband don't understand much English, so I have to order for him. But he's a smart one. He order what he knows. Steak. So anywhere across the board, a steak for him. Every time we go to a restaurant, it's steak for him. But I want to have fun. I want to choose something different, and so I ordered these fried noodles and something. When I get the fried noodles, it's crap. But I was a little bit nervous anyway. So I mean, anything I get, I wasn't gonna eat it off anyway. But I mean, the noodles wasn't good. It was crispy and And I say, okay, I can get you something else, order something else. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. And we talk and talk and talk. And I mean, the funny thing about it, he couldn't remember my name. So he used to always call me Maria. And from that day, every day after work, my husband would hurry up and go home and take a shower and come back to meet me. And sometime like you're in Bermuda and you're doing, sometimes you stay at your job and do nothing all day, and when 5 o'clock comes, that's the time when people are coming. So most of my appointments normally come after 5 in the evening. So sometimes I'm done work 10 o'clock at night. Remember, I start working at 9 a.m. in the morning and I'm finished working 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like pretty tired. And I would say to him, I'm tired and whatever. He still want to come and sit and talk and talk. Remember, this man can't talk English, when we want to talk about so. But we find a way to talk to each other. If he's trying to say something that I don't get, we would just get Google and translate. And then we'll be going to restaurant 3 times a week, 4 times a week. Would be going to restaurant just to, just so he could be around me. And let me tell you, like 3 months after we met, and going to restaurant like 3-4 times a week, this man asked me to marry him. I'm like, oh wow. I'm like, I mean, we've been hitting it off quite great. We've been having fun together. We've been loving each other company. I'm like, why not? So this man asked me to marry him, like, and guess what happened? I got married to this man 6 months after we met, and we went to Jamaica and get married. He has never been to Jamaica before, and I sent all my documents done to our document done to Jamaica, and have the I will pay a married officer, because I was gonna do a big wedding. I was just gonna to witness, because I'm not that kind of person who want to do all that thing in the crowd. I'm not that kind of person. I rather do a honeymoon, but the big wedding or whatever, I know me, and then have a public gathering with all my families and stuff. So girl, we went to Jamaica, and my husband, he don't speak much English, much less patois. So we stayed in a hotel. And the day before we went to Jamaica, there was a storm coming, and the flight was gonna be cancelled. So I was supposed to I was supposed to get married the same day. I said, I got married on the 13th of September, the Tuesday. And I was planning on going to Jamaica the same day and get married. I don't know what I was thinking. So anyway, the storm was coming and he decided, okay, we live in Jamaica today. So I went to the travel agents and he got a flight out on the 12th. So we took it. We went out, but we had to go to Atlanta and then from Atlanta to Jamaica. Yes, that was it. Normally we would go to Miami and then from Miami to Jamaica, which would be shorter flight. But this time we had to go to Atlanta, and then we have to overnight. We have to overnight in the air. We have to do an overnight, and then after that, all the electricity and the power went out in the hotel, and the door couldn't be closed, and I lost half of my luggage. I lost a lot of things that day, things that I was taking for people, for family, for friends. A lot of stuff I got lost that day. But anyway, we eventually went to Jamaica, and after I reached, I went to get my nails done. And then I was supposed to go fit a wedding dress the next morning. I went, like, the places aren't open yet. Then when I went into one place, I fit a wedding dress because I rent the dress. I fit the dress and it was like, okay, I like this one. I'm not gonna try it. So the first one I try and I like, and then we tried suit for him. We went and buy shoes and shirt. And we get the vest and the thing to try, because it was so hot. Like, when I tell you it was so hot, it was so hot. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, so that day now I was late for the wedding, and the lady that was supposed to be officiating the wedding, she called and she started to cuss, and like I was like half an hour late, and I'm like, I'm so upset because are you telling me I can't be half an hour late for my own wedding? The lady like blah blah. I like, listen to me, and I'm getting upset, and they're saying, oh, cause you know, they're saying, oh, no bother with it, it's their day, just calm down, blah 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 blah. And I mean, we let it go, and we reach, and me, my sister, my brother, and my husband were the only people, and the officiating minister was the only person there. And we had the wedding, and then after the wedding we went and have dinner with all my family members. And yeah, and during that dinner, no, it's like when my family get together, it's my immediate family, like my brothers and my sister, my mama, my dad. So when we were listen, when we get together, I mean, we literally dog each other. When we say, we laugh at each other from, remember things from in the way back. Like little jokes and little embarrassing moments, and every time we're together, that's what happened. We just laugh at each other. That's the best part of us being together. We laugh at each other, no matter what the circumstances. And my husband was just sitting down there and not understanding not one blessed thing. But that was the best part of my day, just getting together with the family and laughing and chatting up and everything. And after that day, I tried to show my husband a little bit of the island, Duns River Fall, this, that. We just have fun. So, you see, that was how I met my husband. I have a little more to tell, but it's gonna be too much. So if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do so. If you are already subscribed, thank you so much for coming back each and every time. And let no one steal the joy, pay it forward, and always remember to live, love, and laugh. Have a blessed day.